like I said, last month when I was talking about, you could have your risk assessment that is designed to communicate information efficiently to your management team. But you might have another like section of that risk assessment that gets into the nitty gritty details on everything. And it's like, you don't want the tail wagging the dog. You don't want to distract your management team when you talk about your customer and entities risk. Last thing you want is 4 pages of all of the different types of customers and entities that you deal with that kind of granularity. So, feel free to have like a customers and entities risk assessment that, where you go through and you do break it down at the, at that level where you identify all the higher risk customers that you have, and then try to wrap your arms around, okay, so um, you know, what types of activity are we seeing? And then you can do your formal risk assessment and just have your conclusion in the formal risk assessment that goes to the management team. Because a lot of times that's what I see is once you pretty soon you are drowning in the details with your risk assessment where you've gone through and you're trying to add in all of these things that Kevin gets a wild idea and says, hey, you should add that to your risk assessment. And pretty soon you're like, Kevin, I got 30 extra things that I just tagged onto my risk assessment, where I'm starting to lose my organization. Um, Remember, you can carve some of this out and maybe do a more pointed risk assessment that just feeds into your main risk assessment. So, for instance, your products and services risk. That's something where you can run down each and every type of product or service that you offer and do your analysis there. And as things change, maybe you do your shift on that, kind of that sub risk assessment. And maybe it doesn't impact your main risk assessment, but at least then you can use it as kind of that tool to keep up with things.